morning, everyone. It is Sunday, March 9th, 2025, and it's time for your Sunday reading. I'm Dolly. This is the Wolf Girl Oracle, and I'm glad you're here. So today we're going to go to Spirit, and we are asking Spirit to. I've had this thing on my soul for the last couple weeks where I'm finding myself just sort of thinking out loud, is our country going to be okay? Are we going to survive this? Are we going to survive what's going on? So the intention that I put into the cards today was to answer that question. Are we going to be okay? So let's get over to the other camera and let us do the reading. And I have the cards placed already here for us today. And I'm going to ask the angels to protect us. I'm going to ask the spirits of the land and my home to watch over us. And I'm going to ask the ancestors to give us wisdom. What can we expect, Spirit? Are we going to survive this? Please and thank you, and I love you. All right, so let's get started. We're going to go east, south, west, and north, and just progress through the cards that way. And I have two cards. I have from the Star Tarot, but I also picked a card from the Women's Room, which is underneath it here. So our first card is the Emperor. The Emperor in the Medicine position. The Emperor in the Medicine position. And this is a card of an abuse of power. It is a card of controlling, stubborn, actions, okay? When it's in the medicine position like this. So, we are looking at, I think we all know who this is representing. So let's move on to the Woman's Rune. And we have the Flying Woman. The Flying Woman. Rune of transformation, death and rebirth, shape-shifting, and change. So between these two cards, I'm feeling like what Spirit is trying to tell us is, although this is tough right now, this is a very difficult time. There are many times where I'm even checking my own sanity, to be honest with you, with some of the things I'm hearing and feeling and seeing. I'm just like, have I walked through a different dimension? Am I in crazy people land now? And I'm sure a lot of you are feeling that same thing. But what I feel like Spirit is saying here is, this is necessary for a transformation and change that is coming in the future. It's not fun right now. We're not having a great time with that right now, but it is leading to something better, something that we are all going to experience. Okay, so then in the south position, we have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords. And this is very much a betrayal card. It's a card of ruin. It's a card of, I'm feeling like the victim today, kind of feeling. And the Women's Room that we have is the Pendulum. The Pendulum. Rune of patterns, karma, justice, ethics, trust, conscious, and old patterns. Wow. So what I'm feeling from Spirit with this is, although the pendulum is in one direction right now, we will see the pendulum swing. It's going to be swinging from injustice to justice, from lies to truth, from selfishness to selflessness, from unethical behaviors to ethical behaviors. So we are going to see a transformation occur to this country as the result of what we're going through right now. It's terrible in the moment, but the pendulum is going to swing. That is a positive. That is something that we can put some hope into. All right, let's look at the West card. Oh, we have Temperance. Temperance. Patience, healing, peace and harmony, acceptance. And what is our rune? The whole moon. The whole moon. Rune of cycles, moon energy, and mysteries. And it's the Psyche's rune. Cycles. Patience. Cycles. You know, what Spirit is giving me right now is this too shall pass. It's a cycle that we're going through. It's a necessary cycle that we're going through. But on the other end of this, we're going to feel a balance happen, a unity, a collectiveness. So as terrible as it feels right now, it's a necessary cycle. It's like the fourth turning. Did you ever read that book? You guys need to read that book. We're coming to the end of a cycle, a big cycle, like an 80-year cycle. So there will be some breaking down of things, and there will be some growing pains as a result of this, but it's all leading to a good place. The pendulum is swinging, okay? And then lastly, we have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands, which is very much a home, harmony, union, celebration, like weddings, christenings, that kind of thing. So that's a good positive card to have. And the rune is the Sun. The Sun. It's the rune of healing, rejuvenation, recreation, play, and radiance. So I feel like Spirit is saying once we come through this cycle, once we come to the cycle, when the new cycle begins, it will be radiant. It will be a time of play and love and reconciliation, of healing, harmony, hope, union, like the Four of Wands kind of, tells us. So I feel like we are in a terrible spot right now, but it's not going to be here forever. This too shall pass. All will be well, and we're going to experience good things in the future. We got to just kind of stick it out and hold to it. But one thing you do not have to do is you do not have to consent. You do not have to be okay with anything that is going on. You can vocalize the fact that you are not consenting to the things that you're seeing out there. That isn't giving into the fear. In order for you to be able to handle fear and deal with fear, you first need to recognize fear, speak it aloud that you are afraid, and then look for ways to get past that. It's when you allow fear to take over your life and take over your personality and change the way that you do things. That's when fear is a bad thing. But fear is in place, and we've survived as a species for millions of years because we use our fear to keep us alive. So fear isn't something to be ignored. Fear is something to be acknowledged so that we can deal with it, so that we can change our circumstances to ensure that we are not afraid. And that begins with saying, I do not consent. I do not consent to any of this. Okay? I consent to love. I consent to unity. I consent to positivity. I consent to living our best lives. I consent to good health. I consent to education and the free expression of ideas. I consent to humanity, but I do not consent to what I'm seeing coming out of the current administration in Washington. Okay. All right, let's go back to the other camera. Whoa, I put us on the internet cam for a second there. Did you see that? Woo! It goes on and on forever. Oh, we got to have fun with this sometimes. Can't be so serious. Anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Don't be afraid. Let's just hold each other up, you guys. Let's hold each other up through this. We're going to get through this. All is well, and we're going to be okay. Okay? We're going to make it through this. We will say, I do not consent together, and we'll take it from there. Anyways, I love you guys. Mwah. Take care, everybody. All right. Bye-bye.